my name is Rebecca. Today I'm going to show you how to start with Expo bouncing and how to do a sofa bounce. Expo is short for exposure and is the position where you have the feet perpendicular to the line and you look into the void rather than at one of the anchors. The sofa bounce consists of 2 bounces and it starts and ends in Expo. In the first bounce, you sit down in sofa, and then in the second bounce you stand up again, landing in exposure. In this video I'm going to start with the second part, as this allows you to follow along even when you're not comfortable with Expo bouncing yet. To stand up from sofa to Expo, you grab the line with both hands, you lean towards one side, you put one foot up, you let go of the hand next to it and use it to balance. Then you use the foot and the hand to press yourself up to make room for the second foot. You put the foot, let go of the hand and stand up. Now that we went through the motion in detail, let's discuss how you can practice it. If you have access to a rodeo line with a crash pad or a mattress, I recommend to start there. As you don't have to leash climb, you can get a lot of tries in a short amount of time. But also the ground is near and you can fall on your butt or back, so only do it with protection. Otherwise you can skip directly to the highline. Here I like to have the leash over my leg on the side that I put the first foot up, because then I don't have to worry about stepping on the leash ring and I don't get the leash in my face when I fall. On the highline, you can do it in 2 ways. You can either do it statically, as on a rodeo line, or you can do it with bounce. Ultimately, for the sofa bounce, you want to go for the option with bounce, but at the beginning it might help to have more time. On the other hand, bounce helps you with the upward motion, so just try what works best for you. If you do it with bounce, it might help to split it into 2 bounces at first. In the first bounce, you just put one foot up, and in the second bounce, you put the second foot up and you also stand up. No matter if you do it in 1 or 2 bounces, always do the motion upwards as close to the top as possible. And when you've done that, you've completed the second part of the sofa bounce. Now let's look at the first part. Sitting down from Expo to sofa. For this one, you want to be quite comfortable with Expo bouncing. To get there, it's mostly practice, but there are 2 things that you can pay attention to. The first is you want to lean slightly forward rather than backward, because that allows you to balance in both directions without falling off immediately. And the second thing you want to pay attention to is to have your front part of the feet on the line, because bouncing is a bit like jumping and you also don't jump off your heels. There's one exercise you can try to get more stable at Expo bouncing and as a good way to approach the sitting down from Expo, which is grabbing with one hand at the top of the bounce. So you just bounce normally in Expo and then you let the line come towards you by bending your knees. At the top of the bounce you quickly grab with one hand and let go of it again, and then you can do it in the next bounce with the other hand, and so on. I try to do it 3 times in a row before moving to the sofa bounce in one session. When you're stable at Expo bouncing and also can do the grabs, you're well prepared for the sitting down. It's basically the opposite of the standing up. So at the top of the bounce, you grab with one hand, you let go of the foot next to it, usually the one that goes up second, and then you let go of the second foot on the way down, grab with the second hand and you sit in sofa. You have more time than you think to let go of the second foot. You have the whole way down. You just have to be done before you hit the bottom of the bounce. Yeah, and that's the first part of the sofa bounce. As you now know the first and second part of the sofa bounce, you can put both of them together and do a complete sofa bounce. If you've done that, that opens up a lot of possibilities for new tricks to try from Expo or sofa. So I hope you enjoy the journey there, and I hope you enjoy practicing Expo bouncing and sofa bounces. It's worth it.